Good morning, everyone. My name is Mighty Stream, and I'm going to do your August the 7th spiritual principle, a day in a meditation. I hope you're doing well this morning. Let's get into this meditation. It's entitled Unconditional Love for Fellow Addicts. A member shared, unconditional love is not the same as unconditional acceptance. I don't have to like your behavior, but that doesn't mean we reject each other as human beings. That comes from the Guiding Principles book, Tradition 1 for Groups. Oh, great. This. So often we come from families and relationships where love was conditional. If we didn't act right or when we made mistakes, love was withheld from us. For many addicts, rejection of any sort is unbearable. When an NA member takes issue with something we did or said, we see it as solid evidence that we are worthless. That person is now our mortal enemy, judging us every second. No matter how gently we are pulled aside and pulled up, we won't be able to feel the love in it, nor will we be able to forget it. Forever and ever, we will remember that old timer who took us aside after the meeting and told us, I love you, but could you please fill in the blank? That being said, there's no list of hard and fast rules to determine when a member's behavior in meetings warrants unsolicited feedback. As a recovering addict wrote, no matter how obnoxious I was, people always gave me a hug and told me to keep coming back. Ideally, our default is to treat each other with respect and kindness. We put our common welfare first when we address behaviors that puts meetings and members at risk. We protect the right of all of us to recover when we communicate to a member that disruptive, predatory, or violent conduct is not acceptable. NA is here for all addicts, and our experience shows that we can support members through just about anything. Our capacity to love and accept others as they are impacts our personal growth in recovery. When someone drives us mad, pray for them, a trusted old timer suggested. You don't have to pray they win the lottery, but still pray for them. I am reminding myself that we are all addicts and trying to get and stay clean. Just for today, I don't have to like everybody, but I'll try to love them anyway. Unconditional Love for Fellow Addicts is the title. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the lead version of Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today, please and thank you. Yeah, unconditional love, right? For fellow addicts is not the same as unconditional acceptance. And I think that's important to remember because what happens for me when someone lets me know that, hey, the way you went about that was just really foul. And it has happened. There's been people that have stepped to me unsolicited, but also they didn't solicit my behavior either, right? So it was kind of like I put myself out there and this is what I got. So when people came to me and said, that just didn't seem right. You might want to take a look at that or call your sponsor. Even if I pretended like it was okay. Oh, thank you for saying something. I know we each other's eyes and ears. My mind was not saying the same thing as my lips. My lips were saying the things that I thought were appropriate or should be said, especially if they were right. But my mind was offended. My mind was hurt. My mind was devastated and believed that they were scrutinizing me inappropriately. Like, how dare you sit here and just analyze what I do? What about all that you do? right? So I jumped on that bandwagon and I wasn't able to hear, hear what they meant, hear what they said. I wasn't able to. My behavior warranted, if they had wanted to, they could have called the police. Yeah, because my behavior was violent. It was definitely obnoxious is a nice word. I was so inappropriate in so many ways when I first got here. And I'm really grateful today that I'm not the same person. But I am also mindful when other people display the same behavior. I'm also very mindful that I don't control anyone as long as the atmosphere of the meeting is maintaining recovery in a positive way. I don't control people. I might make some suggestions through sharing my own experience and not giving my opinion. That's helpful. So today, do we have these hidden resentments towards ourselves and towards others in the meeting because of something they said 20 years ago to us, 10 years ago, last year, last month? And if that's the case, all I can say is find a way through the steps, the principles of the steps, the topic of unconditional love, unconditional acceptance, and find a way to get over it and treat everyone that comes into the meeting with love, with acceptance, regardless of who they are, regardless of what they look like, regardless of their style of share, which can be hard, right? The hardest share for me to listen to is the one that is full of anger and bitterness and cuss words, every other word. That's hard for me to listen to, as well as the preachy one, right? Yeah, those are two types of shares that I struggle with enduring. But I try to be patient and listen to the message and not the delivery, right? The messenger. I try to listen to the message. And sometimes I have to close my eyes to do it. And so I just want you to be mindful today how we can make the atmosphere of recovery more inclusive and more warm. If your meeting is a meeting that people say, I wouldn't go down there. I wouldn't go to that meeting. I wouldn't go over there. I definitely won't be visiting that town for a meeting. Yeah, because they don't know how to greet anyone. They let you just come wander in, figure out, where the restrooms are. They don't have anyone that gets up and says, "Welcome. We've never seen your face here today in this meeting. What's your name? My name is such and such. Well, let me show you where the restrooms are in the coffee in case you need them during the meeting." It's simple. It's hospitable. But if your meeting is one of those meetings where people are saying those types of things, then that means that you and everyone else that is part of that home group, there's room. There's room for applying the spiritual principle a day. And just figure out what that is for you. You can't carry the whole meeting, but you can contribute towards the group's atmosphere of recovery. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I intend to talk to you tomorrow.